never studied NCRT, sir. NCRTs I feel are not required once you understand the standard book. And UPSC 3 stage ऐसे ही elimination के लिए नहीं रखी है. There are 3 requirements in the examination. Prelims is testing your awareness. Mains is testing your analysis skills. And personality test is testing your personality. So तीनों के लिए तीनों अलग-अलग तरीके से prepare करने की जरूरत है. We have a limited memory and we need to revise more and just remember those small or limited things that we are preparing. So note making becomes important there. What many toppers don't say and what many coaching institutes don't say is there is a luck factor in it. I'm an all-nighter, sir. I study only at nights. Don't think buying books will help a lot. Rather, internet has great stuff nowadays, sir. So we can make good use of internet. You will have to sit down. You'll have to know everything which is going on in the market right now, and then form your own strategy of yourself. And once you form the strategy, do not look back again. Final year mein, my father has once suggested me, एक बार try करके देख लियो. This is a career where you can have both professional satisfaction, personal satisfaction, that too with a societal objective. Sir, my definition of success is impacting as much people I can impact in my life very much positively, sir.
Hello everybody, this is your host Avinash Agarwal from Disha Publication, and today we have a very, very special guest. We have Rahul Reddy with us, who has cracked UPSC 2020 and scored an all-India rank of 218. Before I come back to you, Rahul, I would like to give you a brief introduction. Rahul Reddy comes from Telangana, Hyderabad. He has done his mechanical engineering from CBR College of Engineering in 2018. He practices Vipassana meditation, which we would talk about. His optionals were political science and international relations, and this was his second attempt. His first attempt was in 2019, and the marks which he scored was 959 in this attempt. So congratulations, Rahul. And before we actually start the interview, I would like to give you a brief background. Most of the students with whom I interact with, they think that, cracking UPSC requires 12, 14 or 16 hours a day. It requires 4 to 5 hours of preparation. They think that most of the toppers are God gifted or have a very high level of IQ. They're reading thousands and thousands of books. They're going to all kinds of coaching institutes. And they also think that, most of the toppers are able to crack this examination because they were probably more lucky or it was their destiny. I would like you to address all these issues. My sincere request to you would be, I would request you to pour your heart out. I would request you to pour your heart out to give listeners a deep insight into a story of struggle, sacrifice, and success. And just to summarize, let's give more power collectively to lakhs of aspirants who are watching this interview. Over to you, Rahul.
Sir, firstly, I would like to thank you for the beautiful introduction, sir. And I feel pleasure to join this seminar because Disha Publications is something which is connected to my preparation also. So I feel really honored and pleasure to be part of this seminar.
Right. Thank you, Rahul. So my first question, before it's a warm-up question, if you can quickly share with us your journey from an aspirant to a UPSC topper.
Sir, ये बचपन से dream था नहीं था. This is something which I started only in my final year. Final year में my father has once suggested me, एक बार try करके देख लियो. This is a career where you can have both professional satisfaction, personal satisfaction, that too with a societal objective. ये तीनों मिलके और एक career ढूंढना थोड़ा difficult हो गया था मुझे. So at such a young age, having such big responsibility, something which has attracted me towards this career. तो मैंने सोचा कि 1-2 साल पढ़ेंगे, मतलब let's give it a try. अगर हो गया तो हो गया, नहीं तो फिर अपने काम, मतलब I'm a mechanical engineer, so I thought I'll do masters in that only. तो यही plan था, and I entered the game 2018 when I graduated. In my first attempt, fortunately, I've never stopped at any stage of the examination. I went till interview in my first attempt, so I was always in the process. In 2019 attempt, could not clear and could not make it into the final list also. Then, but the prelims came back just 1 month after the final result. So I was still into the process, and there was always that feeling that ये पूरा effort नहीं था, because I was into this only for 1 or 2 years, because I don't want to waste my early 20s, which I feel are the most important years of my life, into something which is not giving me any incremental growth. That is the only problem with this these kind of government exams, that they do not show any incremental growth in a career. So I did not want to waste my time in this. So, but in my second attempt, I felt that I have more potential, and I did not give my 100%. And once I give my 100%, I'm done with this examination. And that happened after my second mains. After my second mains, I was coming in the car and I remember saying to my dad that बस हो गया अब यूपीएससी से मेरा, मैं जितना देना था, जितना प्रेजेंट करना था कर दिया, बस अब कुछ लेना देना नहीं है. And later I got my visa approved too before my final interview. But fortunately, I'm here, allocated Indian Police Service. So I'm happy and I feel blessed, sir.
So are you trying to say, Rahul, that if you would not have been able to make it this time, then probably you would not have given third attempt?
Yes, sir.
And are you also saying that even after giving the second attempt, the mains examination, you were not very clear that whether you would or you would not?
Yes, sir. My calculation and my meter of my performance is my performance only, sir. It is not the result. And with UPSC, what many toppers don't say and what many coaching institutes don't say is there is a luck factor in this. There is a 10% luck factor which plays a huge role in this. So irrespective of the relentless effort, there is no surety that a person will succeed in this examination. Because there is a lot of subjectivity involved, right from prelims, CSAT, and 9 papers later. And also the interview, which board you'll get and what kind of mood the board is in and what kind of topics those guys are talking. So there's a lot of subjectivity involved in this process. So nobody can be sure, sir. But now that everybody has cleared, toppers will say that मैं बचपन से सोचा था कि मैं बन जाऊंगा. लेकिन on the result day, I can guarantee you that everybody was praying that list में नाम आ जाए बस. कुछ होना ही नहीं है, list में नाम आ जाए.
So that's a very very brave and very very interesting remark. इसका मतलब ये रहता है कि चाहे आपका टॉपर्स को भी उस लेवल की एंजाइटी लास्ट मोमेंट तक रहती है. So that means that this, it is a very dicey or risky or uncertainty. टॉपिंग करने का तो छोड़ी कि होगा या नहीं होगा, बस इसका भी डर सा लगा रहता है. So that's a very very interesting remark. So since you said that there was a lot of uncertainty and कि list में नाम आ जाए, so what was your reaction immediately after seeing the result? How did you come to know कि selection हो गया है?
सर उस दिन सुबह में पता चल गया कि आज रिजल्ट आने वाली है. तो what I did was मैं सुबह घर से निकल गया और I have a lot of friends. तो मैं उनके साथ घूमना शुरू कर दिया और उनको पता नहीं है because I roam with my friends just because they are not contained to this world. They're all into business and they have no idea कि आज रिजल्ट आने वाली है सब. They'll not talk about anything else. They'll not even ask. If I'm at home, पापा एक घंटे को आके पूछते हैं कि आ गया क्या. That increases the tension. Friends के साथ रहे तो chill मारते सब लोग तो हो जाएगा. तो I went with my friends. Then suddenly at 5:30 or 6 I came to know that 10-20 मिनट में आने वाली है. And I had to come home. तो मैंने बोला फ्रेंड को रुको, हम एक शॉप के कैफे में बैठेंगे, फिर बाद में जाएंगे 10-20 मिनट के बाद. Because I do not want to see the disappointment in my parents' face. मतलब बाद में मैं चले जाऊंगा लेकिन अभी नहीं जाऊंगा. Because I was always ready for the worst case.
So tell me, Rahul, tell me something about your family. What does your father and what kind of family do you come from and what does your father do?
Both my father and mother are LIC agents, sir.
Okay, wonderful.
The both are LIC.
So Rahul, you just said that you started preparing in 2018. So, that also breaks the myth, which as you said, that most of the toppers say, and, there are other people, there is, हवा रहती है मार्केट में कि आपको तैयारी करनी है तो 9-10 से शुरू हो जाओ या 11-12 से शुरू हो जाओ. तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. What I understand from the conversation which you just had is that 1 or 2 years is good enough. 1 or 2 years is good enough for preparation. तो 2018 में जब आपने तैयारी की तो आप मुझे बताएंगे कितने घंटे पढ़ते थे, कैसे शेड्यूल बनाया, all those kind of stuff related to your preparation.
Sir, the most frequently asked
मतलब मैं पूछना चाह रहा हूँ कितने घंटे की पढ़ाई की जरूरत है, बिकॉज ये क्वेश्चन बहुत बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट और सेंसिटिव क्वेश्चन है कि उन्हें लगता है कि टॉपर शायद सारे दिन पढ़ते रहते हैं, ऐसा कुछ होता है.
Sir, this is the most frequently asked question, sir, especially after the result. This does not have a proper answer, sir, because I'll tell you my own experience. My own experience, if the exam preparation is of 1 year, for the first 7 to 8 months, I used to not study more than 6 hours a day. 6 hours of concentrated effort, not just studying for 6 hours. 6 hours of concentrated effort, and later we used to do nothing else, sir. If there are 2 to 3 months of preparation left in the examination, I used to do nothing else. I and my roommates also. We used to do nothing else. We used to just study. We used to study, eat, sleep, and again study, eat, sleep. We did not even count the hours. So if the time requires and it is demanding, then we'll give the required amount of time. The same goes with employees too, sir. Employees can give 5 to 6 hours a day or 4 to 5 hours a day. On the other hand, a guy who is into full-time preparation will give more time. And 1 year will be enough for that particular person. For a working person, 1 year may not be sufficient. So regarding to hours, 7 to 8 hours of concentrated effort is something which can be achieved, sir.
So, Dean, this is for all my listeners. What is important to note over here is that it is not dependent upon how many number of hours you study. What is dependent upon what happens in those hours. Yesterday I was taking an interview of a JEE topper and he made a very, very interesting remark. He said, उससे भी यही पूछा गया कि कितने घंटे पढ़ते थे. He said, I never noticed, I never planned that I will study for 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. He said that for every day I had a plan कि ये मुझे आज खत्म कर लेना है. और वो खत्म करने में मैं इतना खो जाता था कि जब खत्म हो जाता था तभी सेटिस्फेक्शन होता था. एंड दैट इज व्हेन आई मूव टू. कई बार वो खत्म 4-5-6 घंटे में भी हो जाता था और कई बार खत्म होने में 7-8 घंटे भी हो जाता था. सो राहुल, another thing which I like to clarify, you just said that in the initial 7-8 months you studied let's say 5-6 hours a day, और लास्ट के जो 2-3 महीने में थे उसमें ये जो नंबर ऑफ आवर्स थे कंसिडरेबल बढ़ गए, wherein you were just studying, sleeping, eating and all those kind of things, right? Am I right? Did I understood it correctly?
Sir. Yes,
so, another thing which I learned is that UPSC preparation is just like, it is not a 100-meter sprint. It is just like a marathon, wherein you have to find out when should you speed up, when should you slow down, when should you conserve your energy. And like a marathon, you conserve your energy in the initial 7-8 months and put your 100% or 200% at the end of the marathon. So very, very interesting thing. So कोई टाइम टेबल फिक्स होता था कि मॉर्निंग में ऐसे पढ़ना है कि मॉर्निंग में 3 घंटे, शाम को 3 घंटे, या रैंडम बेसिस पे चलता था ये?
I'm an all-nighter, sir. I study only at nights. I sleep in the morning. I sleep at 6 a.m. in the morning and wake up at 11 a.m. Then I'll start studying again. So that 11 to 6 stretch is the most important stretch in my preparation, sir. 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. Because at that point of time, there is nobody else who is awake and I'll never be disturbed. And also that there's some kind of activeness which is there in my mind at that particular point of time. So I prefer studying at nights only. But later, while giving mains, I had to change my timetable just because I had to align with the examination timetables.
So tell me one more thing, Rahul, and this is a personal question. Just for example, you say that you were a night owl and रात को सारी पढ़ाई करते थे. But tell me, आप concentrated effort जो है एक बारी में लगातार 2-3 घंटे का कर सकते हैं, उसके बाद आपको एक ब्रेक चाहिए half an hour, 45 minutes का. तो रात के टाइम how do you manage it? I mean, what is that you do in a, for example, if you, because what I'm trying to say is that what you study depends upon your focus and concentration or intensity level. और intensity level 2-3 घंटे के बाद डाउन जाने लगती है, तो उसके बाद जस्ट तो जो रेस्ट वाला फेज होता है उसमें रात को क्या करते हैं?
Sir, I have this technique of, I think you know this, the Pomodoro technique I used to use.
Yeah.
What I used to do is, like just I've said, if I'm studying for 6 to 7 hours, that does not mean 6 to 7 hours full. That means 50 minutes of session 6 times and 10 minutes of break 6 times. So I consider that as an hour. In those 10 minutes, I'll do what I feel like, sir. I'll just watch a video. I'll just watch some web series का थोड़ा part, 10 minute का part देख लेता हूँ. थोड़ा mind refresh हो जाती है. I used to put that in pause only and then watch 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, my phone itself gives me a notification. There are multiple apps which do that nowadays. So फिर से मैं game में आ जाता हूँ. फिर I'll study for some time, 50 minutes. Again, for 10 minutes, I'll take a break. So this used to help me balance that attention and concentration.
Wonderful, Rahul. Rahul, tell me one more thing, because the syllabus of UPSC is never ending. I would say it is, fathomless. You don't know, nobody knows कि कहाँ से शुरू होता है, कहाँ से खत्म होता है. So, and staying focused in this exam is very important. Focused when I say what to do and what not to do. So how did you choose your study material? How did you find out that this is what I have to confine my preparation to? What is the importance of NCERT books in this entire preparation?
Sir, firstly, I would like to convey that I've never studied NCERT, sir. NCERTs, I feel, are not required once you understand the standard books. Because, for example, there is a certain book for polity, and if I feel that this is sufficient, I don't think I'll have to go to NCERT again, because NCERT reading by aspirants is done to just understand the basics and then to understand the standard book. But once you're understanding the standard book directly, there is no need for going to NCERTs again. In the first attempt, while prelims, we used to just refer to a few facts which are there in history of NCERTs, just because they'll directly ask. But I think that even that was not very helpful, sir.
Wonderful. So I just want to comment over here for the benefit of my all viewers is that, last year I was speaking to an IAS UPSC topper, and he made a very interesting remark that there are, 800 UPSC toppers every year, and probably, there are 800 ways of cracking UPSC. So what I want to emphasize over here is that everybody has got a unique plan. You should
Yes, sir.
listen to what Rahul is saying, but make sure that does it suit you or not. I have some startling observations. Rahul is saying that NCERT is not important, whereas, what I have heard or I've been hearing over a period of time is that NCERT is with which you start your preparation with. A couple of days back, I was speaking to this guy, Vaibhav Rawat. He said that he has not read newspapers. He doesn't read Hindu and Indian Express. Whereas what we normally conventionally hear is that he हर दिन एक घंटा newspaper पढ़िए, Hindu को पढ़िए, and I don't know probably. So very, very interesting thing. So जैसे कोई भी एक
Sir,
सब्जेक्ट
what want to tell something? Vaibhav Rawat is my roommate, sir. We don't do these things. We do not read newspapers. We do not read NCRTs. We both are roommates, sir.
Okay, wonderful,
Yeah,
wonderful. So roommates while preparation or
while preparation, sir.
while preparation. Okay, wonderful. So tell me one more thing, Rahul. Is जैसे for example कोई भी एक subject ले लेते हैं, let's say XYZ. तो उसकी एक तो आपने basic reference पकड़ ली, जैसे for example आपने polity की बात की, एक basic तो कितने books होनी चाहिए? जैसे एक subject की एक reference book होनी चाहिए या एक follow books होनी चाहिए, या किस तरीके से, मतलब how do you define that for this particular subject? This is what it is. Could I explain? Could I convey my question?
Yes, sir. I understood the question, sir. For basic subjects which has evolved over time, sir, which are conventional, I think the standard books are also evolving in such a way that they're updating the stuff. So there is no requirement of any other reference book. But for few subjects which are not for UPSC especially, those books, if they're not for UPSC especially, we'll have to have multiple sources. But what we used to do is we used to take a standard book, and then we used to not have a reference book. We used to use internet as a source, sir. Because any topic, for example, if you want to talk about separation of powers, we just have to type separation of powers and UPSC with that in Google search, and you'll get numerous sources in that. So I don't think buying books will help a lot. Rather, internet has great stuff nowadays, sir. So we can make good use of internet.
So one thing which all of us should learn from Rahul is that how not to get distracted also, because, probably Rahul, you said that internet is a great source of knowledge, but internet is the biggest distractor also. And I'm also surprised in your previous reply, you said that you used to adopt a Pomodoro technique wherein you study for 50 minutes और 10 मिनट तक आपने वेब सीरीज देखी. If it was me, मेरे तो दिमाग में वो 10 मिनट के बाद क्या जहाँ सस्पेंस और थ्रिलर है वही घूमता रहता है. It would have been very difficult. So probably how do you control your mind? How do you remain in the present moment? How are you able to concentrate for 6 sessions? How are you able to learn so much which most of the other students are not able to do it? Because I've seen a lot of aspirants struggling 4, 5, 6 years and not being able to. What is that unique thing where do you get this power from?
Sir, I would like to share my personal experience, sir. Sir, in my first attempt, while I was giving mains, I could not sleep all night, sir. It was a 3-day continuous process. So for the 3 days straight, I did not sleep. The mains went well. I've completed all my papers. But after mains, which was the time for me to chill out, I was having this feeling that, am I this weak emotionally? Am I this kind of person? What if I face some difficult situations in life? Will I be the same? So what I did was I enrolled for Vipassana at that particular point of time. After my first mains, there was not much requirement at that point of time, but I went for a 10-day course. And there I learned something that, just like you've said, living in the moment and enjoying the process, equanimity, whatever the situation is. Even if you're facing a happy situation, do not be very, very happy. Just be equanimous. Like you have asked in the previous question, that what did you feel on the result day? I was not that euphoric and all those terms which toppers talk about, sir. I was just very normal, thinking that हाँ अब एक opportunity मिल गया कुछ करने के लिए करेंगे मतलब there's a lot to do now. It was just this feeling, but it was parents का feeling देख के थोड़ा खुशी था. We must accept that. But me personally was not very, very happy and very, very excited, sir. I was just realizing that ये एक opportunity है to reach a goal which I have. So बस ये मुझे उस तरफ काम करना है अभी. So this kind of attitude and this kind of clarity has come only with Vipassana meditation, sir.
Did it help in, did it help in the interview process also? keeping self composed, being able to handle anxiety, stress, pressure.
Yes, sir.
So this helps. So this is a very, very interesting and powerful thing which is coming from Rahul, is that meditation can be a turning point, and which Rahul said that it was a turning point in his preparation. So I am not recommending all viewers, that you should go and do Vipassana, or you should go and do any form of meditation. But yes, meditation makes, what I feel is that meditation is, first it takes you high, and then it takes you far away. Then it takes you far. It's just like an aeroplane which takes you high and then it takes you far away. So very interesting. Very, very interesting, Rahul. Rahul, also tell me, because, the syllabus is wide, the time is less, the competition is intense. What is the importance of note taking? कैसे दिमाग में, छोटे से दिमाग में इतनी सारी चीजें कैसे भरें और सही टाइम पे उनको कैसे आउटपुट प्रोड्यूस कर पाएं? बिकॉज आप खासतौर से जब मेंस की बात कर रहे हैं, आपको आंसर लिखने हैं, सही स्ट्रक्चर में, सही फ्लो में होना चाहिए, थॉट्स का फ्लो भी उस तरीके से आना चाहिए. तो नोट टेकिंग की क्या इंपॉर्टेंस है और आप कैसे नोट टेकिंग करते थे?
सर, फर्स्ट थिंग इज, हमको ये क्लैरिटी रहना चाहिए कि वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू रिमेम्बर एवरीथिंग. मैं एस्पिरेंट्स को देखता हूँ जो पढ़ते रहते हैं ये उम्मीद से कि याद हो जाए कुछ एग्जाम में, लेकिन दैट नेवर हैपेंस. वी हैव अ लिमिटेड मेमोरी एंड वी नीड टू रिवाइज मोर and just remember those small or limited things that we are preparing. So note making becomes important there. And particularly in note making, sir, what we used to do is we used to take up each word in a syllabus, sir. Each word in a syllabus, and prepare only 2 to 3 pages of notes on a particular word. So this was our major notes, and whatever addition or whatever additional source we used to get later in our preparation days, we used to just add to that basic notes. So in this way, I had notes for almost each word in the syllabus of mains, sir. And with respect to prelims, there is not much we can do because the syllabus of prelims is everything under the sun. So it is just like broadening your scope and broadening your awareness, which I say, because UPSC is just expecting us to be a responsible and aware citizen in prelims, sir. It is not just that ये book से पूछेंगे और वो book से पूछेंगे. जो भी aware है, जिसको भी पता है कि क्या हो रही है उस साल में, उस 2 साल में, and he is interested to know कि ये क्यों हुआ, I think he can easily clear prelims, sir.
Rahul, any specific tips? Because, as I said, that the syllabus is, endless, everything under the sky, which you just said, is that. So one is that note taking, it helps you in concentrating or capturing everything in a limited manner. Another probably thing which is equally important, which I feel, is how and when do you revise it? कैसे उसको अपने दिमाग में, तो रिवीजन का क्या रोल रहता था और आप किस तरीके से, कोई पीरियडिक सिस्टम था? क्योंकि इंटरनलाइज अगर आपको करना है तो उस चीज को कहीं ना कहीं 2-3 बार आपको अपने दिमाग से दिल जहन में उतारना पड़ेगा. तो रिवीजन का भी कोई स्पेसिफिक आपका सिस्टम था या प्रोसेस था या टाइम था कि इतने दिन के बाद रिवाइज करना, या कैसे करते थे?
Sir, ideally, initially what I used to do is I used to read multiple subjects a day, sir. But later I realized this is not going to work this way. So what I used to do for longer retention is that I used to take up a subject. For example, I'm taking a polity standard book, and I know that for the first time reading it, it will take some 7 to 8 days. So what I used to do, I used to complete that 7 days. Next half of the time, next 3 days, I used to complete that book again. Next 1.5 day, and next 1 day. So this will come around 13 days. So 13 days I used to give just for one subject, and after that I don't think you'll forget in at least for the next 6 months that particular book, because you are continuously honing your mind in that particular subject and keep on revising continuously. So that will help you retention for a longer time, sir.
इसको स्पेस्ड रिवीजन भी कहते हैं कि आप जैसे जैसे चीजों को भूलने लगे आप उसको दोबारा से रिवाइज कर लें.
Yes,
तो वो चीज आपकी शॉर्ट टर्म मेमोरी से लॉन्ग टर्म मेमोरी में चली जाती है. इसको तो एक और चीज बताइए राहुल, another thing which I'm very curious about, that since you are an engineer and your optionals were political science and international relation, so what is the logic and how did you actually go about choosing an optional? Because this is also a very burning question कि optional कैसे choose किया जाए.
Yeah.
There are many aspirants who are driven by what are the optionals which toppers choose, and all those kind of stuff. So how did you go about choosing your optionals?
Sir, before choosing an optional, I had a thought that I will choose mechanical engineering, sir, because it was available in UPSC exam. But I realized that my objective is to clear the examination, and mechanical engineering subject itself requires 1 year of preparation in itself. So I thought that I'll choose a subject which I'm interested in, because I'm getting an opportunity now in life that I can read another subject and grow my interest upon it. So when I saw the syllabus, I thought political science and international relations is such a subject where I am interested in. So that is the reason why I took PSIR, sir. But there were no calculations of any how this optional is doing, what kind of marks toppers are getting, and all those things. But there were few points I want to mention here, sir. While choosing an optional, one must also remember that you must see if there are proper resources available, proper test series available, and proper evaluation which is being done. Is that fair enough? And is that optional evolving, or is that optional going keeping on getting hard? We need to notice these three things, and I think this will be enough, sir. If you're interested in that particular optional, then you can go through it, sir.
Very, very interesting. I would just like to highlight the first thing is that you should choose something which you are deeply interested in. I just heard it somewhere that choose an optional like you choose a girlfriend. की girlfriend के साथ कितना भी time बिताने को मिल जाए वो कम ही रहता है. वो deep interest नहीं है जब तक. And I'm assuming कि political science और international relations शायद आप अपनी life में पहली बार पढ़ रहे होंगे.
Yes, sir.
So anything is possible. I'm going to say anything is possible. We have Rahul with us, who has been able to, master political science and international relations. The subjects. मैं इसलिए ये खास तौर से इसलिए कह रहा हूँ क्योंकि बहुत सारे एस्पिरेंट्स को ये जरूर आता है कि सीसेट के पेपर में या यूपीएससी के पेपर का ऐसा डिजाइन है कि इंजीनियर्स को बेनिफिट है. तो यहाँ पे एक हमारे पास इंजीनियर ऐसा है जो कि इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन और पॉलिटिकल साइंस पहली बार पढ़ रहा है. सो 1 year इज गुड एनफ टाइम एंड यू कैन मास्टर. तो आपको लगता है राहुल कि इंजीनियर्स के लिए कुछ स्पेसिफिकली कुछ बेनिफिट है या उनके लिए आसान होता है यूपीएससी का करंट एग्जाम पैटर्न, या आपको लगता है फॉर एवरीबॉडी इट इज इक्वल?
Sir, with respect to content and examination, I don't think so you'll get any advantage. But एक चीज है engineers में, particularly mechanical engineers, I believe so, कि ये kind of जुगाड़ है mind में. Like starting of the interview, you have mentioned that जिसने पकड़ लिया वो clear कर लेगा. बस we try to just find that particular thing. वो जुगाड़ ढूंढने के लिए try करता है हर एक चीज में. So we try to be innovative. There is something, some advantage there, but content-wise and examination-wise, I don't think there is any particular advantage. I think there is a disadvantage उल्टा कि आर्ट्स हम 10th क्लास में पढ़े थे फिर बाद में अब पढ़ रहे हैं. There is a disadvantage there.
No, very interesting. But I would like to make a quick remark. राहुल ने कहा कि जुगाड़ है, जो मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर वाले का दिमाग जुगाड़ की तरीके से घूमता है. But there is a thought which is coming in my mind after speaking to you for 25 minutes. What I feel is that UPSC का एग्जाम क्रैक करने के लिए सबसे पहले आपको एग्जाम को समझना पड़ेगा, उसकी पल्स को समझना पड़ेगा. You and UPSC preparation have to become one. अगर आप समझ गए तो 1 साल या 2 साल में भी फोड़ सकते हैं, और अगर आप उसकी पल्स नहीं पकड़ पाए या उसकी लय नहीं पकड़ पाए या उसको कनेक्ट नहीं कर पाए, तो वो जैसे मैं आपसे बात कर रहा हूं, मुझे लग रहा है कि आपने पहले ही साल में पल्स पकड़ ली होगी. एक और चीज बताइए राहुल, कि पहले साल के अटेम्प्ट में और दूसरे साल के अटेम्प्ट में क्या फर्क था? क्या कुछ गलतियां की आपने पहले साल में जो आपने दूसरे साल में सुधारी, या फिर अगर हम ये कहें कि तैयारी पहले साल पूरी नहीं हो पाई थी?
सर, the second one, तैयारी पूरी नहीं हो पाई थी because till prelims I was ready, sir. Prelims is my strong point. I've always scored more than 130 marks at prelims. तो मैं कट ऑफ के लिए कुछ डरता नहीं था कभी. But when it comes to mains, first mains के time तो I was not ready. I did not even give a single test series. मैंने सीधा एग्जाम में लिख दिया था. But fortunately I was able to complete the paper and even got an interview call, which later comes to the point that I realized that ये कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट वाले ने कुछ हल्ला मचा दिया आंसर राइटिंग के साथ. UPSC is just expecting a simple answer addressing the question, and I have been given good marks in my first attempt. So then that is the reason why in my second attempt, even in my test series, I used to never take feedback very seriously, because ये coaching institutes जो भी है, they are making answer writing such a complex task, and also they are telling that ये भी जरूरी है, वो भी लिखना होती है, ये भी लिखना होती है. In all these confusion, aspirants are not even addressing the questions properly. But UPSC, वो professor जो examiner बैठता है, he is just expecting a different answer which is addressing the question and which is in simple words. उसके बाद कुछ जरूरत ही नहीं है. So that I realized in my second attempt, sir. So in my second attempt, what I did was we took all the previous year questions of 6 to 7 years. We used to do this innovative thing like I used to take a question of previous year. Answer लिखने का I was too lazy for that, sir. पूरा answer लिखने के लिए. So what I used to do is एक ही paper में I used to brainstorm because there are 7 minutes for a 10 marker. So what I used to do is I used to take 1.5 minutes. In 1.5 minutes, my task is to think, form an answer, form an intro, body, conclusion, and write in a single point of whole answer. In this way, I was able to do all the 7 to 8 years of previous year questions. After doing that, I got a new clarity, a new confidence in the examination process. That every time ये topic से questions आ रहे हैं and UPSC current issues को ऐसे analyze करके पूछ रही है. So it was never a bouncer for me in the final examination. So that helped me a lot in my mains, because always it is mains which brings us a rank. It is not pre, it is not interview. Interview just decides the service. It does not decide the rank. So mains के performance improve करने के लिए पूरा focus था second attempt में.
So Rahul, I have a very, targeted and specific question, and this is, out of turn, this is a question which is randomly coming in my mind. The way you speak, the way you have been speaking and the way we have been interacting, you're making the entire process, extremely easy, interesting, and exciting. So what do you think? What do you think? I'm just asking from your perspective, because you are a thinker. I'm just asking from your perspective, what do you think? Where is that most of the aspirants go wrong, that even after preparing for years and years, they are not even able to clear the mains examination? कहाँ पे भटक जाते हैं बच्चे? आपको क्या लगता है?
Sir, the key is guidance, sir.
The key is
guidance, sir. We do not need coaching, sir. I personally was not part of any kind of coaching. I was just into guidance programs and test series. So what I wanted is, I want to keep my mind open. I want to take suggestions of everybody and then sit down and form a own strategy of myself. Aspirants do not do this. Aspirants just watch the suggestions of everybody and try to implement one or the other in some other time. You will have to sit down. You'll have to know everything which is going on in the market right now, and then form a own strategy of yourself. And once you form the strategy, do not look back again. Trust in the strategy, trust in the process, trust the faculty you're believing in. Only with trust you can put your 100% and you can represent that 100% in the examination. This is where aspirants are doing a mistake. And I personally also tell this, that always trust. If you're reading a particular standard book, trust that standard book. इसको ऐसा पढ़िए कि इससे question आने वाली है. Only then at least you'll able to eliminate the other two options. इसमें से जो है, शायद इसमें से आएंगे भी नहीं. At least आपको दो options तो मिलेंगे जो इसमें से है. उसको eliminate कर दीजिए, तब 50% को आ गया probability. So this is what I think aspirants make a mistake, sir.
So if I may ask you, these are these questions are random thoughts, which are, because my mind is like a monkey mind. I have not done Vipassana. After you do Vipassana, your mind becomes a monk mind. It is concentrated. So my mind is a monkey mind, and like a monkey, it is jumping from one branch to another branch. Can you explain? And this is, I am, whatever I'm asking, I'm putting myself into the shoes of an aspirant. You just said that the strategy. आप क्या ब्रीफ में 30 सेकंड्स में अपनी स्ट्रैटेजी बता सकते हैं? क्या थी आपकी स्ट्रैटेजी? मतलब मैं समझने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, I would, because this is a very, very important and crucial point. We are at a very crucial stage in this entire discussion. You just said that, the basic differences in terms of guidance, and the second point which you mentioned was that कि aspirant अपनी strategy नहीं बनाता है. So let's assume, in a very rough language or in a very rough thought, Rahul Reddy की क्या strategy थी?
Sir, firstly, मेरे लिए exam क्या है मैं ये बोलूँगा sir. मेरे लिए exam ये है, 3 stages of examination है, and UPSC 3 stage ऐसे ही elimination के नहीं रखी है. There are 3 requirements in the examination. Prelims is testing your awareness, mains is testing your analysis skills, and personality test is testing your personality. So तीनों के लिए तीनों अलग-अलग तरीके से prepare करने की जरूरत है. Well, when it comes to prelims, sir, my sources were not limited. My sources were very vague and very wide, that I had to cover a lot of things, because कल के दिन मुझे याद करके लिखना नहीं है इसको, मुझे बस आंसर चूज करना है. तो this was my strategy in prelims, कि maximum sources cover करो और maximum mock test cover करो. I used to do at least 60 to 70 only full length mock test, nothing, no sectional test, so that I'll prepare myself for the examination. मेंस के लिए आई यूज्ड टू चेंज माय स्ट्रैटेजी. मैं सोर्सेस ज्यादा नहीं रखता हूँ, मैं सोर्सेस बहुत ही लिमिटेड लगता हूँ, बिकॉज मेंस एग्जामिनेशन इज वेरी मच प्रेडिक्टेबल. क्वेश्चंस रिपीट होते हैं और सेम टॉपिक्स के ऊपर घूमते हैं क्वेश्चंस. So once you are having your value addition content and your basic notes of that particular topic, mains can be easily written, sir. And when it comes to interview, in my first interview, I was not that ready mentally also, sir. And interview preparation is not for just 2 to 3 months of those particular period. Interview preparation is your overall personality, and that goes year long. So after my first interview itself, I've decided that next time, whenever it is, next time if I'm getting the opportunity of going to the interview, I will be a better person. And once I'm a better person, I think they'll give me more marks. And that has happened, sir. I've been awarded 35 marks more than last interview. So this is my overall strategy which I've followed, sir.
जब हम तैयारी करते हैं तो एक स्टेज पर आकर जब प्रीलिम्स आ जाता है तो इज इट रिक्वायर्ड और इज इट इम्पोर्टेंट कि अब हम मेंस पे ना फोकस करके लास्ट के 1-2 महीने सिर्फ प्रीलिम्स ओरिएंटेड हो जाएं? Because when I speak to a lot of people who have a lot of successful aspirants who have been able to crack UPSC, they also at times admit, in fact, you are the first one who's saying that, I was very confident about the prelims exams. Most of the aspirants admit that, prelims is a very dicey examination. You actually can't predict. And, there have been many instances कि एस्पिरेंट पहली बार तो मेंस तक पहुंच गया, दूसरी बार प्रीलिम्स ही नहीं क्लियर कर पाया. तो क्या आप ये स्विच करते थे कि अभी हम इंटीग्रेटेड तैयारी कर रहे हैं, अब 1-2 महीने रह गए हैं, प्रीलिम्स पे फोकस कर देते हैं? और अगर प्रीलिम्स पे फोकस करते थे तो क्या तैयारी में क्या चेंज आता था?
सर ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग मैं यही करता था सर. आई फॉर द लास्ट 3 months if there is for prelims, I used to do only prelims related preparation, because they require different kind of attitude, sir, different kind of preparation also. So it is meaningless if you're balancing both. I used to stay in touch with my optional, because after 2 to 3 months there'll be a lot of gap and I'll lose my touch. So optional के साथ touch में रहता था, लेकिन I used to focus only on prelims, sir. And there is a particular requirement of prelims also, sir, because like just I've said, I used to do a wide variety of sources, and I used to practice 60 to 70 mock tests. Every day I used to do a mock test. I used to learn the art of answering the questions which I don't know. That is the purpose of me solving mock tests, sir. Because ये मैं लेके ही चल रहा हूँ कि कल के दिन एग्जाम में कुछ पता नहीं होगा. 30 क्वेश्चन पता होंगे और 70 क्वेश्चन है जिसको मैं तुक्का मारना चाहिए. और आई एम जस्ट मेकिंग दैट 70 क्वेश्चन गेम ऑफ एलिमिनेशन स्ट्रॉन्गर by solving these mock tests. Because 30 क्वेश्चन तो होंगे ही सही, because सीरियस एस्पिरेंट तो है ही हम, तो 30 क्वेश्चन सॉल्व हो जाएंगे. बाकी 70 क्वेश्चन किसी को पता नहीं होंगे. तो उसमें हमारा गेम दिखाना है कि वो स्किल बढ़ाना है कि एलिमिनेशन कैसे करें. और वो एक स्किल है, और वो ऐसा ही नहीं है कि लक के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट है. इसलिए आई वाज कॉन्फिडेंट ऑन प्रीलिम्स. आई नो दैट स्किल कि कैसे उसको क्वेश्चन क्यों पूछ रहा है और कैसे ऑप्शन दिया जाता है और कैसे उसको निकालना है मुझे. And that is there.
Can you share that secret with us? I would say briefly answer elimination or option elimination. I understand that guessing is a very important part, and answer elimination or option elimination. If you can share a little bit, if you think it can be explained in 1 or 2 minutes.
Yes, sir. Sir, when it comes to option elimination, sir, what I used to do is if there is a question and 4 options, I used to think that there are 5 weapons with me, and 5 weapons I must know only about 2 or 3 in that. And what UPSC generally does is UPSC gives options in such a way that answer under something, an option which is closely related to the answer will be together. So I'll get to know that ये दोनों में answer है. So I used to eliminate the other 2. And also most of the times I used to know 1 or 2 options, sir, because we are into the preparation, and ऐसा नहीं होगा कि 500 चीजें पता नहीं. 2-3 चीजें तो पता हो जाता है और एलिमिनेट हो जाती है. बट व्हाट आई यूज्ड टू डू इज एक ही राउंड में मैं करता था, सर. इसलिए व्हाट जनरली एस्पिरेंट्स डू इज दे सॉल्व प्रीलिम्स पेपर इन राउंड्स. पहले राउंड में जो आते हैं वो करते हैं, फिर लास्ट के 20 मिनट में सारे तुक्का मारना ट्राई करते हैं, और उस टाइम में ब्रेन इतना फ्रीज हो जाती है, यू कैन नॉट बी क्रिएटिव, यू कैन नॉट बी इनोवेटिव, एंड यू कैन नॉट इवन थिंक. तो मेरा फिलॉसफी ये है कि आई सॉल्व 100 क्वेश्चंस विदाउट जजिंग कि ये इजी है डिफिकल्ट है. मैं ये नहीं सोचता हूँ. मैं बस 100 क्वेश्चंस कंटिन्यूअसली ऑर्डर में सॉल्व कर लेता हूँ. And I used to attempt 100 questions every time, sir.
Wonderful. So are you trying to say, or does it mean that in your prelims exam in both in 2019 and 2020 attempt, you were able to complete the entire paper in terms of you attempted?
Yes,
You were
sir.
able to, because I speak, there are a lot of aspirants who say कि paper बहुत लंबा होता है और वो पूरा 90 क्वेश्चन, लास्ट के कुछ क्वेश्चन छूट जाते हैं, all those kind of things. You just said that you always used to attempt 100 questions. Now that is very unlike the kind of answers which I get when I'm speaking to other people who have been able to crack. They say that कई बार पेपर खत्म करने के लिए टाइम बहुत कम होता है, कुछ क्वेश्चन छूट जाते हैं या पूरा पेपर हम कई बार पहुंच भी नहीं पाते, ऐसा कुछ. तो आप क्या पूरा पेपर 1 से शुरू करके 100 तक पहुंच जाते थे?
Yes, sir. Sir, for that also I had a different strategy, sir. Initially कदम नहीं होते थे, but what I used to do is, अगर कल के दिन मुझे एग्जाम में 2 घंटे है, तो in my home where I'm comfortable and my mind is calm, I used to do that paper in 1 hour 20 minutes, sir, and 1 hour 30 minutes. In this way, my reading speed, my comprehension speed has developed a lot. So this is where I improved that speed. So that is why in the exam, my whole 100 questions will be completed in some 1 hour 30 minutes or 1 hour 40 minutes, sir. Then I have blink time for at least 20 minutes. So everybody needs to develop their reading speed and also the comprehension skills, sir. While also reading speed, we must also comprehend what is being given in the question and also think about that particular question.
Wonderful. So, Rahul, tell us something about the strategy which you had for ethics paper, because it is quite different from other subjects. Any specific strategy or any specific preparation plan for the ethics paper?
Sir, there are two things in ethics, sir. One is case studies, and then there are 10 markers, sir. Both require different kind of strategies, sir. For example, for ethics case study, what I did was I first gone through all the previous year questions, and I realized that there are at least 6 to 7 types. There are only 6 to 7 types and 6 to 7 templates of type of case studies. So what I did was I made those templates in particular different papers and wrote my own answer format, sir, in that. कि अगर ये टेम्पलेट आएगा, ये टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन आएगा, मेरा आंसर ये फॉर्मेट में रहेगा. सो देयर इज नो अनप्रेडिक्टेबिलिटी इन द एग्जामिनेशन. मेरा माइंड बिना सोच के भी लिख सकती है उस आंसर को. सो केस स्टडी व्हाट आई यूज्ड टू डू इज, एक नॉर्मल के सिटीजन के जैसा आई यूज्ड टू एनालाइज कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली, एंड कॉमन सेंस यूज करना बहुत जरूरी है, सर. मेंस एग्जामिनेशन, आई वांटेड टू मेंशन दिस. मेंस एग्जामिनेशन में व्हेन यू आर गिवन अ लिमिटेड टाइम, 6 मिनट्स या 7 मिनट्स, अगर हमको दिया जाए एक क्वेश्चन के लिए, you cannot access your memory. मेमोरी को एक्सेस करके नोट्स को याद करके नहीं लिख सकते हैं. We'll write only which is ingrained in our common sense. And to ingrain it in your common sense, after reading anything, you'll have to think and connect it with the real life incident. Only then that will be ingrained into your common sense and you can present it into the paper. This is where aspirants miss out. So they just think that ये notes पढ़ेंगे, बार-बार पढ़ेंगे, याद आ जाएगा. उस टाइम मैं 2 मेंस लिखा हूँ, and I know this. कभी भी you will not access your memory. You can only access your common sense and which you know personally. So मैं यही करता था. अगर फॉर एग्जांपल पंचायत राज इंस्टीट्यूशंस के ऊपर क्वेश्चन है और एक मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ कुछ, तो आई यूज्ड टू कनेक्ट इट विद माय विलेज कि क्या होती है वहाँ पे, क्या क्या इश्यूज है, एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स आई यूज्ड टू कनेक्ट इट विद द रियल लाइफ इंसिडेंट्स. तो मेरे लिए बहुत इजी हो जाता था. जब मैं क्वेश्चन लिखता हूँ मुझे पता है कि हाँ अच्छा मैं तो जानता हूँ सही में कि क्या हो रही है वहाँ पे, और मैं लिख लेता था आंसर. So this is what you need to do for ethics also. And value addition is also important, sir. Value addition के लिए हमको नोट बनाना की जरूरत है, कोट्स लिखना चाहिए जो हमको अच्छे लगते हैं, और रियल लाइफ एग्जांपल्स, हमारे खुद के लाइफ के एग्जांपल्स, दैट गिव्स मोर इम्पैक्ट. वो ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है किसी का कोट लिखने से ज्यादा. एंड इफ यू आर नॉट गेटिंग एनी सच एग्जांपल्स, देयर ऑलवेज very great people like Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and all these people who have their life incidents very inspiring. तो वो भी मैं लिखता था. अगर मुझे अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली है वो यूज कर देता था मैं. एंड एथिक्स के पेपर के लिए टू हैव एन एज ओवर अदर एस्पिरेंट्स, यू विल हैव टू यूज थियरी इन केस स्टडीज. लोग ये करते नहीं है. लोग बस थियरी अलग से प्रिपेयर होते हैं और प्रैक्टिस अलग से प्रिपेयर करते हैं. सो थियरी प्रैक्टिस करके और थियरी को केस स्टडीज में यूज करना भी इम्पोर्टेंट है.
Very interesting, Rahul. Very interesting. I've been speaking to toppers since last couple of years, but I have learned many things in this interview. And one thing which I am realizing, while you were answering, is that, and you also made this remark in 10 minutes earlier, is that probably we have made answer writing a very complex. उसको हमने इतनी घसड़-पसड़ कर दी है कि ऐसा लग गया जैसे आंसर राइटिंग नहीं, हम कहीं कोई थीसिस सबमिट करने जा रहे हैं. We have made it look so complicated, so structured, this, do that, कि जो ओरिजिनलिटी होती है एस्पिरेंट्स की, वो कहीं ना कहीं खो जाती है. एंड व्हेन यू आर नॉट यू, And when you're trying to be somebody else, then you can never, you can never be best. Nobody can compete with you. So, which I would agree to you. Now,
Sir, I want to add something, sir.
yeah.
Like just have said कि UPSC तीनों stages में it is expecting that an aspirant must be responsible and aware. For example, prelims में recently जो अभी October 10 को हुआ है, उस prelims में एक question था कि receptors क्या होते हैं, कोविड के रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन था, और वो जाना जरूरी इसलिए था बिकॉज स्कूल रीओपनिंग का इश्यू हो रहा था सर आफ्टर कोविड लॉकडाउन. तो आईसीएमआर ने ये स्टेटमेंट दी कि छोटे बच्चों के लिए एक रिसेप्टर्स, एक काइंड ऑफ रिसेप्टर्स आर नॉट देयर इन द थ्रोट, तो उनको स्कूल जल्दी ओपन कर दीजिए. लेकिन उल्टा हो रहा था रियलिटी में ये हो रहा था कि 10th क्लास बच्चे को कोचिंग लगा रहे और 10th क्लास बच्चे को स्पेशल क्लासेस लगा रहे कोविड के लॉकडाउन टाइम में. सो अगर आप जानते हो कि पॉलिसी क्यों लिया जाता है और क्या गलतियां बाहर हो रही है, दैट इज नेवर अ बाउंसर. लोग तो ये मतलब बाहर आके चिल्ला रहे थे कि ये मेडिकल साइंस का क्वेश्चन है, और दिस क्वेश्चन कम इन यूपीएससी प्रीलिम, यूपीएससी इज बिकमिंग वेरी अनप्रेडिक्टेबल. ये इश्यू हुआ था, आईसीएमआर खुद इन्वॉल्व था, एंड इट इज कनेक्टेड टू एवरीबडी ऑफ अस. एवरीबडी हैज स्मॉल चिल्ड्रन इन देयर होम्स. So that is something which I feel that you must stop blaming and start being aware.
कहते हैं ना कि करंट अफेयर्स नहीं रह गया अब यूपीएससी में, कंटेम्पररी अफेयर्स आ गया है, जो भी सब कुछ चल रहा है, एनीथिंग अंडर द सन. तो अब थोड़ा अपना इंटरव्यू एक्सपीरियंस के बारे में बताइए, सम डूज सम डोंट्स, सम इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी, कोई एनेक्डोट, कोई किस्सा, कोई इंटरेस्टिंग चीज हुई है इंटरव्यू में, बिकॉज वो बड़ा एक बड़ा पर्सनल एक एक्सपीरियंस है, तो उसके बारे में मैं जानना जरूर चाहूंगा.
Sir, there was a particular in my first interview, my interview went very routinely, sir. It was wholly from the DAF, but it was a stress interview. Bhimsen Basi sir का बोर्ड था. He was former DGP Delhi. तो उनका एकदम पोकर फेस रहती है और you never know कि he is happy, he is sad, what with our answers. So वो थोड़ा stress interview था, लेकिन I knew that थोड़ा personality में flaws थे. I was not that confident. तो उस टाइम आई ओनली न्यू दैट इतना ज्यादा परफॉर्मेंस अच्छा नहीं था एंड आई डिजर्व दोज मार्क्स ओनली. बट इन माय सेकंड अटेम्प्ट what happened was I was extremely ready for the interview. I developed because I know that I developed as a person, and I am not that kind of person which UPSC does not require. तो मैंने क्या करा, मैंने यूपीएससी की नोटिफिकेशन निकाली है. नोटिफिकेशन में मैंने देखा कि पर्सनालिटी टेस्ट में ये लोग एक्सपेक्ट क्या कर रहे हैं. तो मैंने देखा तो मुझे दिख रही है कि इंटेग्रिटी एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं, इंटेलेक्चुअल इंटेग्रिटी एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं, डिसिप्लिन एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं. ये तो सब तो है हमारे पास, तो डरने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. तो फिर यही सोच के मैंने तैयारी भी करी है, डैफ की प्रिपरेशन भी करी है. देन आफ्टर गोइंग टू द इंटरव्यू समथिंग वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग हैपेंड सर. फॉर द लास्ट 1 week or 10 days ऑफ द इंटरव्यू आई वाज होपिंग दैट एक बोर्ड ना आ जाए, बिकॉज दैट बोर्ड वाज वेरी टेक्निकल और कुछ पर्सनल क्वेश्चंस नहीं रहते हैं, कुछ केस स्टडीज नहीं रहते हैं, और उनका स्कोरिंग भी लास्ट टाइम का स्कोरिंग बहुत ही कम था. तो मैं ये दुआ कर रहा था कि बस ये बोर्ड ना आ जाए, किसी भी बोर्ड चलेगा, मतलब मैं 200 मार के आऊंगा फिर वापस. तो फिर हमको पता नहीं होती है कौन सा बोर्ड आने वाली है. तो 10 मिनट पहले वो एक ऑफिसर था, उन्होंने लेके गया ऊपर कि बैठ जाओ बाहर. तो मैं डोर के ऊपर नेम प्लेट देख रहा था, वही बोर्ड था. और आई हैव 10 मिनट्स. तो मैं बहुत डर गया कि मैं बस ये थॉट्स आ रहे थे कि बस हो गया, अब यूपीएससी छोड़ दो, बिकॉज अब तो 130 140 देने वाले हैं ये, तो उससे तो कुछ होने वाला नहीं है, तो ज्यादा मार्क्स तो देंगे नहीं. तो फिर मैंने बस बैठ गया और हियर विपस्सना हेल्प्ड अगेन सर. मैं 2 दिन पहले एक पैरालंपिक शूटर का बातें सुन रहा था. शी वाज टेलिंग दैट मैं जब शूट करता हूँ, मैं जब प्रोसेस में हूँ और गेम में हूँ, मुझे इंडिया याद नहीं आती है कभी, मुझे ओलंपिक गोल्ड मेडल याद नहीं आती है कभी, मुझे मेरे पेरेंट्स भी याद नहीं आते. मैं बस प्रोसेस पे फोकस करता हूँ. मैंने उस टाइम पे यही बात याद करी और मैंने सोची है कि अब जाऊंगा अंदर, 30 मिनट का प्रोसेस है, रोने के लिए पूरा लाइफ है, मैं बाद में रो लूंगा और इमोशन को बाद में पोस्टपोन कर दूंगा जो अभी मैं फेस कर रहा हूँ. लेकिन ये 30 मिनट में प्रोसेस पे फोकस करता हूँ और जो भी अभी तक मैंने सीखा है उसको प्रेजेंट करूंगा. और मैंने वही करा है एंड आई थिंक उस बोर्ड में वन ऑफ द हाईएस्ट मार्क्स आए मुझे.
Any specific question wherein you got stuck, or wherein you thought after there were afterthoughts that I should have answered this question this way, or any interesting moment during the interview?
Sir, during the interview, there was a question about smoke tower, sir. I was a mechanical engineer and I had to know what is a smoke tower. तो मुझे पता है कि कनॉट प्लेस में स्मोक टावर लगाया गया है, लेकिन मुझे एग्जैक्टली पता नहीं है कि वो क्या है। तो मैंने उन्होंने पूछा है, मैंने बोला कि हाँ सर पता है कि लगाया गया है यहाँ पे। उन्होंने पूछा मैकेनिज्म बोलो, तुम तो मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर हो, मतलब मैंने तो पढ़ा नहीं है। तो देयर आई हैड टू टेक ए कॉल दैट मैं ये गेस करूंगा या ब्लफ करूंगा। देयर इज ऑलवेज अ डिफरेंस इन थिंकिंग एंड आंसरिंग ए क्वेश्चन एंड ब्लफिंग। तो मैंने सोचा कि थिंक करके मैं आंसर करूंगा, और मैंने एक मैकेनिज्म बोल दी उनको, बिकॉज मुझे पता है कि मैकेनिज्म कैसे काम करती है एक स्मोक टावर, बोल दिया, और दे वर हैप्पी विद दैट पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन सर। तो ये ऐसी चीजें मुझे वहां पे इनोवेट करना पड़ा, और वो प्रेशर को भी हैंडल करने के लिए एक अलग सी मेच्योरिटी जरूरत है सर, बिकॉज माई बोर्ड चेयरमैन वाज रोमिंग हियर एंड देयर। वो टी पी रहे थे, वो न्यूज़पेपर वांटेड, ही इज डूइंग दैट वांटेडली। वो दैट इट इज नॉट दैट ही इज नॉट इंटरेस्टेड, ही इज लिसनिंग टू एवरीथिंग, he is listening to everything and everybody there, but wantedly he is roaming here and there कि मेरा distraction ना हो जाए, मेरा distraction हो जाए बोल। so that is something very interesting happened there.
Tell me, we are at the close, we are at the end of the this discussion. Rahul, what does, after clearing one of the toughest examination in the world, what do you think is success, and what does success mean to you? What is your definition of success?
Sir, my definition of success is impacting as much people I can impact in my life very much positively, sir. This is my success, because whoever are near me, I like to see them happy, and that gives me happiness. I do not have any personal goals for myself, sir. This is what I want to do. I want to contribute for the country, and I want to contribute for the society as a whole, as much as I can do. I do not have any unrealistic goals. I have practical goals. Suppose if I'm given in charge of a district, I'm happy that that district people are being happy, safe, and they are doing their best what they want to do. So this is what I wanted to. This is what success is for me, sir.
Very interesting, Rahul. Another question, this is again a unplanned and random question. What if you were to summarize everything, and if you were to answer in say let's say 30 seconds, what are the three key principles, or what are the three pillars, what you think are responsible for whatever you have been able to achieve in your life? तीन वो कौन सी चीजें जो आपको लगता है कि जिसकी वजह से आप वो हासिल कर पाए हैं जो अब तक कर पाए हैं?
Sir, one is self gratitude, sir. I used to always be very easy on myself. Never go hard upon yourself. अगर आज एक दिन पढ़ाई नहीं हुई है, खुद को डांटना नहीं है, कल सुबह उठ के फिर से पढ़ लेना है, भूल जाओ। You must always feel gratitude toward yourself, and only that helps you. मैं और भाई को बात कर रहे थे, और उसको मैंने यही बात बोला है कि भाई, आज तक जो भी हमने हार्ड वर्क करी है, आज उसका रिजल्ट आने वाला है, लेकिन रिमेम्बर, ये हार्ड वर्क तो बदलने वाला नहीं है, ये बस सोसाइटल रिकॉग्निशन है। इस सोसाइटल रिकॉग्निशन के लिए नेवर क्रेव फॉर दिस। हम ऑलरेडी चैंपियंस है। तो सेल्फ ग्रेटिट्यूड इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, सर। एंड सेकंड वन इज कॉन्फिडेंस, कि हम इफ समबडी इज डूइंग इट एनीवेयर इन द वर्ल्ड, देन यू कैन आल्सो डू इट। तो ये चीज दिमाग में रखना चाहिए। एंड यू मस्ट ऑल्सो बी ओके इफ यू डोंट डू इट, कि खुद पे कॉन्फिडेंस रहना बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है। एंड थर्ड इज इक्वानिमिटी, सर। लाइक आई सेड, लाइफ में किसी भी सिचुएशन हैंडल करने के लिए यू हैव टू बी इक्वानिमस। फॉर एग्जांपल, लास्ट ईयर इंटरव्यू से जस्ट पहले मेरा मॉम को कोविड की वजह से 25 डेज आईसीयू में थी। दैट हैड टू इम्पैक्ट मी अ लॉट। मैं कभी कभी सोचता हूँ कि इतना ज्यादा क्यों इम्पैक्ट करा ही नहीं है मुझे। So the reason is Vipassana meditation only. Then the kind of equanimity I was in, because I've seen my family getting collapsed. I've seen my family getting emotionally very unbalanced. Even then, I was the strongest pillar there. So that is where I realized कि personality test में मुझे ज़्यादा marks आएंगे इस बार, कि because मैंने खुद personality develop करी है. These are the three things which I think are the most important principles.
So that's it as far as me is concerned, Rahul. Any last message which you like to give to all the aspirants? Any other thing you like to say, which is, even if it is out of context, because probably I've not been able to address it, I've not been able to bring it forward. Anything which you like to, I just want to say that whatever you say will add power, will add confidence to lakhs and lakhs of aspirants who are struggling and competing to crack this examination. Any last words?
Sir, there are few things, sir. First thing is give your 100% whatever you're doing it. Never think that कि अगले attempt तक हो जाएगा, मतलब प्री के बाद मीन्स का देख लेंगे, पहले प्री तो होने दे. गिव योर 100% ऑलवेज, और एक ही सिंगल फोकस्ड अटेम्प्ट देने का ट्राई करिए. कभी हो नहीं पाती है वो अलग बात है, लेकिन ऑलवेज ट्राई दैट ये एक ही अटेम्प्ट है और यही लास्ट अटेम्प्ट है. इसी में मैं पूरा एफर्ट डालूंगा और मैं पूरा प्रेजेंट और रिप्रेजेंट करूंगा मेरा एफर्ट को. एंड द सेकंड वन इज ऑलवेज हैव अ प्लान बी, बिकॉज दिस इज वेरी अनप्रेडिक्टेबल. सो हमको ये नहीं रहना चाहिए कि मैं 6 बार बैठ जाऊंगा, 7 बार बैठ जाऊंगा, 8 बार बैठ जाऊंगा, लेकिन मुझे यही होना है. बिकॉज 1 साल से ज्यादा इसके लिए फुल टाइम प्रिपरेशन की जरूरत है ही नहीं. So it does not make sense you staying in the process without doing anything for more number of years. So always have a plan B, do something else, because that also helps you balance your mind out. If you're wholly into the preparation, that will give you a lot of pressure also. So these are the 2 things I want to suggest to aspirants.
So that was wonderful. We had a very, very interesting, insightful, deep strategy conversation with you, Rahul. And, I'm sure whatever you just said in the last 45, 50 minutes would add value and make difference to the preparation of lakhs and lakhs of students. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I wish you all the best. Thanks a lot, Rahul. Thanks a lot for your time. It was a pleasure speaking to you. And in this entire process of 45 minutes, I have learned a lot of things from you. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you.
Sir, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and it was a pleasure talking to you too, sir.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rahul. So that was it.